All right. Father of Ice, Daughter of Fire, Game of Thrones review. We did, or I should say, you did, Sansa II, Eddard VII. We're up to Eddard VII already. He's had a lot of POV chapters. And Tyrion IV, I think. Let's see. I think it's Tyrion IV. Okay. Yeah, Tyrion IV. Okay. All right. Let's start with Sansa. The last time we were in the Sansa POV chapter, it was the whole, I think it was the lady. She went out riding with Joffrey. He gets in a fight with Arya. Now, we've had a lot happen in King's Landing since then. We just haven't been specifically with Sansa. So there's not, I don't think, too much to get caught up on. But this is obviously a Sansa chapter about the Hands tournament. Okay. I'll let you take it from there. I know you read like probably feels like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay. So they're going to the tournament. I think she's riding with the Septa and then her friend.
Jane Poole?
Yeah, Jane Poole. They get there. I think like while they're riding there, she's thinking about like the people that are gonna be there. Because I have written down Malister kills like 3 of Rhaegar's bannermen. So I'm assuming she saw what's that guy's name? Something Malister. You know who I'm talking about?
No. Malister?
Yeah. That says Malister. I don't know who this is.
Oh, yeah. All right. Jason Malister? Or Patrick Malister?
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know who either of those guys are.
Wait, I haven't. It's Lord Jason's son. Lord Jason Malister was the guy that was passing Cat, and like he didn't recognize her because he's like one of like the Tully's like I don't know people or whatever, and like he was like passing her while they were like riding on the horse, and she looked all disheveled or whatever, and she was like, "Oh yeah, he didn't notice me." And so this is his son.
Okay.
Don't really know why I wrote that down.
All right, yeah, they're very minor characters for sure.
Okay, well, anyway, so
you didn't recognize her. Okay, all right.
She's naming a bunch of like night people that are going to be there, so I didn't write any of those people down.
I'm gonna hit the mic. Everybody, be prepared. I need to
my gosh, bro!
Right. Hopefully, I wasn't too loud.
No,
it can't be as loud as your chair, so that's all right.
No, I literally tried to fix it too, and it did it didn't work. So whatever.
I'm gonna ask you what you fix it with. If you don't respond with WD-40, you weren't even.
Okay, I didn't like try that hard. I like literally just tightened the screws because I was like, "How do you fix this?" And it was like, "Oh, you can tighten the screws and apply WD-40." I don't have WD-40, so
WD-40 is the fix. You just spray it and it's fixed 100%.
Christmas, Dad. Christmas, you can give me some WD-40.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, she's naming a bunch of knights. There's a man, bro. I'm like forgetting like a bunch of stuff that happened.
I think one thing to note is that she has this approach to the tournament that is so ridiculously like romantic. You know, it's the idea of knights and tournaments and ladies and flowers and combat, you know, like that's not what a tournament is. So we're going to find out how brutal a tournament is, but just her idea of it is just so far from reality.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a knight that was like, I don't even know what this says. It says X-Hide. What does that even say? Okay. His name is Jalabar. It's J-A. Yeah. Okay. Is that important?
No.
Whoever that is. Okay, cool. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Jousting. There's like she goes through like all the people that are jousting, you know, and going through like who won, who lost.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt again, but this is one of those George R.R. Martin things where like he's gonna flood you with information, and then there's some really important ones here. So you know the Jalabar Zoe and Jason Malister, like okay, sure they were there, but you know, let's get to the ones that'll matter. But you won't know who matters until
exactly. Like I'm writing the ones that don't matter. Like right. What? Okay, and then it gets to Gregor, and then this one kid, which I didn't realize who it was, but it's the knight, or no, it's the squire John Aaron's squire that turned into a knight. Like he was like
Sir
appointed as
Hugh.
a yeah. He was
Yes.
appointed as a knight like after John Aaron died because like I think it was like Robert or someone like wanted to like as a I don't remember. But anyway, so
No, no,
Gregor and
let's talk about
him.
it. So,
Okay.
he was the squire to John Aaron,
Mhm.
and then when John Aaron died, he stayed behind, and that was kind of suspicious. Like, why did he stay behind? And then you find out that he's now a knight. So the person that he squires for mysteriously dies. He doesn't go back home with him, and now he's promoted.
Mhm.
So that if you are digging into it, questions should be like, was he involved? Why did he get a promotion after the person that he squired for died? Why didn't he feel compelled to go back home? So there's some suspicion for sure with him.
Okay. Well, because I thought someone like said that he got appointed as a knight as like I don't want to say a gift, but it's like, oh, like your guy died, so like you can be a knight now. Like it was kind of
Yeah,
like that,
I,
but
I don't I don't know if that's like a real, like, usually like, oh, you did great in battle, now you're a knight.
mhm.
It doesn't
Mhm.
have to be all the case. My guess, and I hopefully I'm not forgetting an important detail, is I think King Robert appointed him as a knight. King Robert doesn't have his finger on the pulse of like, like, oh, this guy deserves it. Somebody came
Mhm.
to Robert and was like, make him a knight. And he's like, I knight you, Sir Hugh. Like he just, whatever, like, give me another drink. Yeah, that's probably the only convincing that he needed. So if he was involved in the killing of John Aaron, somebody whoever hired him then came to Robert and said, hey, promote him or whatever.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, he and Gregor are like gonna go fight now, and it's like I don't think Sansa says this, but later on, like um oh, okay. It sorry, like I'm like it's coming
There is
back to
so
me like
much.
split.
Yeah, there's so much in this chapter.
So when later on Sansa has a conversation with the Hound, and he's like, "Do you think my brother didn't notice that like his like armor wasn't like secure because like this Hugh guy he like doesn't have anyone like backing him
He
necessarily like he
doesn't have a
like
squire. Yeah.
yeah like he's just there by himself like just going to joust." And so anyway, so he and Gregor are fighting, and Gregor like stabs him through the throat.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, and I
Right.
think it
Right.
like breaks off too the like whatever
The
stick
lance.
like, yeah. And um and then Sansa just like he lands like somewhere near Sansa, and she like is just watching the blood flow out of him, and then her
Right. Right.
friend is there with her, and she's like sobbing, and like Septa has to
Like a
take her
normal
away.
human, like a
Yeah,
normal
and
young
then
girl that just watched somebody get
Sansa's
murdered.
like Sansa's like, I just like I had like no tears to shed. She was like, I didn't know this guy, so like why would I cry? And she was like trying to convince herself that if it was her family, she would have like, oh yeah, if it was, my dad or someone, I would cry, but
Yeah.
that ain't my dad. So
Right. Yeah. Her
I was
level
like,
of disassociation there is kind of crazy.
yeah. And then there's this kid. Wait, there. Okay, well then I have Renly being thrown. That wasn't really important, but like he lost.
It was
And
important to
then,
him.
but like everyone loves him, so like when he got up or whatever, like people were cheering him on. So, but I thought that was funny. And then there's this kid. His name is Loras Tyrell,
Yes.
and Sansa like had like an interest in him. He was just like, she's beautiful and
Yeah.
everything, and he gave her like a red flower. Like he would be giving like the ladies like white flowers or whatever.
Right.
But then he gave her like a red one, and just like something
Love and
tournament. And bro, yeah,
the
like
queen of
you're not.
love and beauty. Right.
It was corny, but
Okay. All right.
anyway.
Let's pause for a second.
Okay.
We're going to come right back to Loras Tyrell. Jump back to Sir Hugh real quick, because I think that there's a little bit of intrigue going on as far as the relationship between him and John Aaron dying, him staying behind, him being promoted, and then him being murdered. So the idea is that if he was in on the plot to kill John Aaron, he knows. So he knows who did it. So essentially, he then needs to be killed. So
Mhm.
that's kind of like closing the loop on the Sir Hugh thing. Now,
Mhm.
I'm so wrapped up in this that I lose sight of where your mind is. So let me ask you, who killed John Aaron?
Bro.
Well, no, don't confuse that with why. Don't confuse it with why.
I
Okay,
know.
who killed
I
John Aaron?
Oh well, yeah, we like the Lannisters. It's like
Okay.
speculation that it's the Lannisters.
Okay. All right, because there's a whole lot of intrigue going on here, and and I do think that it's worth noting that as the reader, it's not a big mystery, right? We were told in Lysa's letter that the Lannisters killed him. That's why Ned traveled up. That's why Catelyn wanted Ned to go up. So like that's kind of just solidified as fact. So all these other details and stuff, you know, with the murder intrigue, the reader's foundation is that the Lannisters. I don't want to lose sight of that. All right. Now moving forward to Loras Tyrell to give you a little bit more context of who he is. So the Tyrell family is a very powerful family. Do you remember when Renly showed a picture to Ned and was like, hey, doesn't this look like Lyanna Stark? Right? And then Ned was like, not really. And then Renly got a little bit disappointed. So that is Loras's sister. Okay. So for whichever reason, Renly wanted King Robert to fall in love with Loras's sister.
Okay.
Okay. That'll play parts later on. It's such a little detail. It's so easy to forget. But Renly wanted King Robert to fall in love with Loras's sister. Okay. Last little note about the whole love and beauty thing. It's like a tradition at these tournaments that I don't know if it's I don't think it's like the main winner, but people give the special flower to the person that they deem is like the most beautiful person there. So that's what Loras was doing. It wasn't just like his little whim. Like this is something that's done. That detail is going to play in a future story as well.
Bro,
don't forget it.
Yeah, like a flower. Are you serious?
The Queen of Love and Beauty. That'll stick out.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I think. All right. I'll let you keep going from there.
Okay. Yeah, and I think I don't know if it was made note in her chapter, but he's like apparently like really good too. Like he's a really good knight.
Yeah. He's amazing.
Anyway, then Littlefinger comes up and meets Sansa, and that was so weird. She likes describing him, and I'm like, who is this guy? And then Septa's like, that's I forgot his other name, but you know,
Peter
that's
Baelish.
Littlefinger. Yeah. And I don't remember what. I hope this is not important. I don't remember.
I get creepy vibes from that. Like he's almost like.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say he like touches her cheek. He's like, "You look like your mom." I was like, "Okay,
right.
Like that's weird."
For sure.
Yeah. Anyway, I think after this, I think that was the end of the tournament, and then they're like, there was supposed to be like another day tomorrow. So then they go to like eat, and Sansa is like, she's nervous about Joffrey because, you know, they haven't like talked or whatever, but then Joffrey's like acting like everything is fine, and he's like really sweet and like feeding her things, and she was like, you know what, I don't like need to hate him because, you know, he didn't necessarily do it. It was, you know, the queen and Arya. Like, what? Like, so then she was like, yeah, like the only people I need to hate are Arya and the queen. Anyway, but so Joffrey's like chill with Sansa, and then she's having like a great time at dinner, and then all of a sudden Robert is like standing up and yelling. He was like, if I want to go fight in the tournament, I can because I'm the king. And then you know, he's all red-faced because he's like drunk as hell.
Yeah.
And you know, he's being rude and he's like making a fool out of himself. And then he like, you know, the guys around him, like Jaime and I think his brother, like Renly maybe, they were like around him like, oh, you know, you need to calm down. The queen has like stormed off already because she was the one that was like, you know, having a conversation with him about like him fighting in a tournament, I guess, but we didn't like get to know too much about that. But then all of a sudden, like Robert pushes Jaime and he says, I forgot what he says, but it's just like something like rude, like, you know, you're still like weaker than me, you know, even as like the 7 King's Guards, blah, 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 like I'm still your king. And then I don't remember too much after that, but Joffrey like gets the Hound to take Sansa back. And so yeah, he takes Sansa back. And then they like, at first I was like really scared about what was gonna happen because he was acting like he was scary. Like he's walking her down, and then but he's like being like really weird. And then all of a sudden, he just like starts telling his like life story, like trauma dumping on her. Like, you know how I got this scar on my face. I was like, where did this come from, bro?
Never heard that phrase, trauma dumping.
And then so he tells Sansa about like how he got his like burn scar and how it was from his brother after which okay, this is crazy. So like they're like little kids, like 8 or 7 or something, and the hound
so the hound is like 7. The mountain is maybe 15, and at this point the mountain is already pushing 7 feet tall, and he's like a grown big dude in the whole toy situation.
Yeah, the toy situation is crazy because it's like the normal sibling things. Sure. And then bro, like, and well, okay, like the mountain just gets so mad that the hound takes his toy, even though that like the hound was like, yeah, no, he's like so old, he's already like a knight, like he doesn't need this toy, he probably doesn't even want it. And then like he was like so scared about taking it because he was like, if he finds out, like, and then he did find out, and then he just like picked them up and like held them over the coals.
Yeah.
And like burned his face off, and then his family, like his dad was like, yeah, his bed caught on fire.
Right.
That's not even normal, dog. Like whose bed just catches on fire? What?
Back in the medieval days, that's what.
Bro, no, right. Like, who believes that? Who believes that?
Right.
And then,
so even the father is terrified of the son.
Yeah, like that's crazy. And then after that, they like walk in silence, and then she gets to her room or whatever, and then. Oh, was there more?
Sorry, I don't know if it's this conversation or maybe it's another one, but we also find out that the mountain's mom dies mysteriously. The mountain's sister.
Yeah, bro. There was dies. Like,
the dad died. Yeah. Clearly, everybody's dying around this dude mysteriously. Are all their beds catching fire?
No, yeah, they were saying that too. He was like, yeah, there's like a history. I forgot who said it. I think it was. I want to say it was Ned, actually. I think it was in the Ned chapter where, like, he was going through, like, all the histories, like, yeah, this person died, and then next it was this person. I was like...
And then all of a sudden, the mountain ends up with all the family money and land.
Yes! And then, like, the hound, like, leaves and, like, never comes back, not even to visit out. They're like, guys, like, that's a little suspicious, but whatever. So, yeah. Anyway, so then they go to
So with all that being said, does any emotion change about the hound?
Yes, bro, I feel so bad for that guy. Like, that is horrible. And, like, he's a jerk, but, like...
He's a brutal guy, too. Like, don't forget, he damn near cut Micah in half. Just that innocent baker's boy.
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah.
Damn. But, it's kudos to George. Like, you end up, like, having positive emotion and feeling for some terrible people. Like, the hound is a terrible person. He literally chopped a little boy in half.
Yeah.
But you're like, damn, poor hound.
Yeah. But then anyway, right when the hound is like dropping Sansa up, he like threatens her and he was like, hey, if you like tell anybody this, like I'm gonna have to kill you. I was like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, but then that's how it ends. Yeah. Oh, okay. I think I got everything.
So the second day of the tournament, is that from Ned's perspective then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. For whichever reason, I was thinking that was all Sansa. Well, I feel like that flows right into Ned. I don't even know if we need to do a catch up on Ned. Let's say he's obviously still trying to do the John Aaron murder investigation thing. That's the background, but the more immediate thing is now day 2 of this tournament.
Yes. Okay. So the beginning is like where I found out that it was like Hugh that was the one that was killed by the mountain. Yep. Because I think he's like talking with someone.
This is Ned talking?
Yeah, Ned.
I think Barristan. Isn't he talking to Barristan Selmy?
Yeah, I think so. And like the like guy, the Hugh is like in the back, like I don't know, covered or something. And then Ned's like, yeah, we should send his like armor to his mom or whatever. And then someone, I think it was Barristan, that was like, that armor's a lot of money, and he was like, no, it's going to his mom. Then.
And not that it's too important. I think there might be an additional level of intrigue with the armor, because they said that the armor wasn't on correctly. He recently bought the armor. I feel like there's enough there to infer that there was some kind of setup, that Sir Hugh
Mm-hmm.
got set up to be murdered. He bought this new armor that wasn't on right. So it's not a make or break for the main story, but I think there's another little murder mystery there.
And also, like, I forgot to mention this in Sansa chapter, but with the Hound, like, telling Sansa, like, you don't think my brother would know, like, when someone's, like, armor is not, like, you know, put on correctly or whatever.
Yeah.
So then after this, I think they both go to Robert, and Robert is, like, trying to get his armor on, and he's, like, really, I think this is, wait, am I mixing something up?
I think this is right.
This is right? Okay, because I feel like I already maybe whatever. Anyway, so Robert's trying to get his armor on. He's like drinking, and he has like two like Lannister boys like trying to put it on or whatever, and they're like, it doesn't fit.
Right.
He's like, what do you mean it doesn't fit? And then this is when like Ned and Barristan come in, and then Ned's like, dude, like you're too fat. Like
Right,
this
yeah.
literally does not fit. And so then he has like Robert has the Lannister boys leave. And then he has Barristan leave too. And then Robert's just like, you know, I want to fight in this tournament. Like, I'm the king. Like, I can fight in this tournament, whatever. And then Ned's like, don't you think they'll let you win? Like, you're the king. No one's going to, like, hit you and, like, you know, have you lose. And
I think that's what brings enough sense to him, right? At that point, doesn't he realize?
Yeah.
Or he might try to push back, like, no, they won't. And they're like, yeah, bro. And then I think at that point, it kind of cools him off.
Yeah, and then they just start talking about like a bunch of random things, like, he says that John Aaron recommended Cersei, and like, because I think he started talking about like his relationship, and he was like, I like, you know, I hate that woman, and blah 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 blah, and then you know, like, I'm stuck with her because John
Ned talked
Aaron,
about
you
the
know.
two squires that were
Yeah,
Lannisters, and
yeah,
Ned's like,
yeah,
bro, you got too many Lannisters around you. And then he says,
yeah.
well, John Aaron was the one that recommended it. And Robert says, well, he was just a fool. Like, you know, he made a mistake. It was probably, if you didn't know about them, you probably think that it's a good thing. You're bringing the Lannisters in. They're a powerful family, lots of money. You know, Tywin is a great, you know, battle commander or whatever. It probably seemed like a good deal on the surface, but obviously turned out to be terrible.
Yeah. And then Robert then is talking about like how much he wishes he could just like retire the throne or whatever, and like, you know, whore around and blah 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 blah, and then
Could be a
he's like the
sellsword.
only
Yeah, go
bro.
ahead. No, this is important. Go ahead.
He was like the only reason that like I won't is because like the thought of Joffrey being on the throne. Actually, he literally says the thought of Joffrey being on the throne and like Cersei whispering in his ear, which I was saying, I was literally saying that.
It sounded like
I
he
wrote
was
this
quoting
book, yeah.
Sammy. Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
literally. Dude, when I read that, I underlined it immediately. I was like, yes, that's what I said.
Yep.
That
He
was the
does
last
go
thing I
into
had.
some more detail, kind of like talking about Joffrey. What else does he say about him? Like
Oh man.
how could I ever make a son like that or something like that?
Yeah, he was like, he says that like he loves him, but it's like he doesn't like, he's not like a noble son or something like that. He just like, I don't really know, to be honest. I don't remember. He also like compares. I feel like he compares him to like somebody else. I think he compares him to Loras, but I could be wrong. I swear he like compares him to Loras and be like, you know, like imagine having a son like that or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah. I forget the exact phrase. It was something along the lines of like, how could I make a son like that? But
Yeah.
Okay. You know, there was a couple other people. Are you still going into some of the details of the tournament itself, or were you going to go to the end? Okay. All right. Go ahead and continue then.
So then they go back to the tournament and the queen's not there, and then Ned like heads over with Sansa. And then Ned is like feeling better because he's like Robert's like acting like his old self right now. And then I don't remember when this happened, but this is when I found out that Gregor was the one that threw the baby Aegon, like Targaryen, his baby or whatever. And then he like raped the mom, Elia.
Yeah,
which was crazy work.
yeah. Let's review some of those details. So, King Robert is out at the Trident fighting against Rhaegar, and this is where King Robert kills Rhaegar, smashes him in the chest. Rubies go flying into the Trident River. While that's happening, Ned is on his way to King's Landing, but the Lannisters are showing up first. So the Lannisters get there first. Jaime obviously kills King Aerys. And then whenever you kill the king, you have to immediately worry about the kids because everybody will say, okay, the king's dead. Now the son should be the king. So they essentially need to rid the whole line so that when Robert takes the throne, the people aren't calling for the son or the brother or things like that. So on the Lannisters' order, they send the Mountain, because who else would do such a brutal thing, to kill the kids. That's where he takes the baby Aegon, smashes his head up against the wall, and then kills Rhaegar's wife, Aegon's mom, rapes her, and kills her then. You know what I find interesting?
Wait, hold on. He kills. Wait, sorry. Say that
All right.
again.
Okay. So Rhaegar, Aerys, King Aerys, the Mad King, he has a son, Rhaegar, who's out fighting. Rhaegar's married to Elia.
Okay.
Okay. And then they have 2 kids, a son and a daughter.
Okay.
Baby Aegon is the one that the story always gets told about. The Mountain comes in, gets baby Aegon, smashes him up against the wall, rapes, and then kills Rhaegar's wife.
Okay.
In this, and maybe I'm missing a detail, they never talk about the daughter. Like, oh, she was killed too.
Yeah. She's mentioned once. It was like one of the beginning chapters. And I don't even remember what it was saying, but like she just was mentioned. Like,
Right.
yeah, he also had a daughter, and that was it.
Right, and so much, and maybe it's because of how brutal the killing of baby Aegon is, because they talk about getting a baby's head smashed up against the wall. It's like, the worst thing that a human can imagine, and then the daughter was also killed. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like maybe there just wasn't as memorable of a story. She was almost just like killed off screen. I don't know. It always just catches me weird.
Yeah, I
Okay.
feel like it was like mentioned that she was like hiding too when they came. Like I swear it said she was like hiding under a bed or something.
I think I have a
And
memory of that as well.
yeah, but like that's literally all I got. So,
Right.
but that's
Where's
crazy. Yeah, she's like never mentioned. That's
right?
so sad too.
I
What the hell?
know. Your death isn't even if she
Yeah, like
died. If she died.
but yeah. Okay, and then this is when Ned starts going into the family history with Gregor and like everything, and I was
Right.
like a sketchy family
Oh,
history.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then this, I don't remember who he was fighting. No, I do. I think it was Loras. I think it was Loras, right? He was fighting Loras. Gregor was fighting Loras.
Yes, yeah. They
Okay,
were
so
jousting. It
yeah,
starts
yeah, yeah,
as a
yeah, yeah.
joust.
Yeah, and so like this is where they're starting to fight, and then, so they're like going up, getting ready. Loras's horse is like a female. She's like calm, cool, and collected. The Mountain's horse is like going crazy. He's like, you can't like rein him in. He's going nuts. So then they joust, blah blah blah, and then Loras obviously wins. After this, freaking the Mountain kills his horse.
Almost cuts the head off in one blow. Right.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what?
Right.
And then he just like starts like heading like immediately towards Loras, and I don't remember like what happens, but then Loras falls, and then he's about to like swing and like kill this man,
Yep.
and then the Hound comes in and he's like, yeah, like
The knight in shining armor, the Hound.
literally, and then he comes in and he's like, stop this, and then Gregor and Sandor start fighting, and you can see that like Gregor is like literally aiming for his head every time, and Sandor like doesn't aim for his head like once.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like what? This man is evil. But then the Hound wins. That was a tournament though.
Yeah, they're
Sorry.
in the middle of the fight.
Yeah. And then Robert is the one that like breaks it up. And then they I think, like, they, like, collect everything, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if anything else happened in between that, but then it's I think it's mm, okay, then it's made known that, Loris's, like, horse was, like, a female in heat, and that's why what's-his-face's horse was,
Going
like,
crazy.
going crazy, and then I forgot who said this and how this conversation came about, but basically Loris is smart.
You mean Loris is a cheater?
Clever.
Cheater.
Okay, well, is there a rule against not, like,
I don't know.
who says you can't, bring any horse? And then this is where the Hound wins because Loris, like, comes in and he's like, "You like, I owe you my life, like, I yield or, like, I give up the win or whatever, like, you can take the win."
Right.
So then he wins, and then day continues. There's this guy named Thoros Mir that's been mentioned a lot.
Yeah, so there's two people that are barely mentioned here that will be medium players later on, and I did want to bring your attention to him. Thoros of Mir. He fights with a flaming sword. That's kind of like his distinguishing characteristic. And then another guy named Engai. He's the one that won the archery tournament. So they barely mentioned. They're walking past the archery, and they're like, "Oh, Engai won. Thoros of Mir won the big melee." Those two guys will become, again, medium characters later on in the story.
Okay, yeah. So then they meet up. Like Arya comes in, because I forgot who. I think it was Jory that brought her back. And then Sansa's like acting real nice with her. She was like, "Oh, the tournament was so amazing." And I don't know if that's like a sister thing, like she's just like gonna like play nice, or I don't know. But it was just like I'm surprised that she was like actually like talking to her after she said that she hated her. But
well, she did just get Queen's Love and Beauty, so she's probably just
that's
on
true.
cloud nine.
Yeah, that's true.
That one guy that died right in front of me, like, he was yesterday's news. I got Love and Beauty today, so.
Bro, literally. And then, Arya's talking about her little dancing. Sansa calls it dancing, so I'm assuming Sansa doesn't really know what's going on.
Because
then Arya's like, Arya's like, "Yeah, I got this bruise and this bruise." And then Sansa's like, "Man, you suck at dancing."
Yeah, right.
And then Ned starts thinking about Bran. I have Ned thinking about Bran, the Blade, Jon Arryn, and the Bastard.
Yeah,
I think he's
looking at the blade, and he's trying to figure out, like, is there a connection between whoever attempted to kill Bran and whoever attempted to kill Jon Arryn? Well, which also I kind of find interesting, is that Ned's not jumping to any conclusions. He doesn't look at the dagger and say, "Why did Tyrion do this?" Because he was told Tyrion did it. That was Tyrion's dagger. He's trying to figure out, like, why would he do it? If he did do it, is there a connection? He's been told certain things, but he's not jumping to conclusions, which, I think a lot of times as the readers, we jump to conclusions, but that's not.
Yeah. Yes. And then also he's saying that he thinks like the whole like Bran situation is like tied to like Jon Arryn, which I don't remember why he thinks that, but he does. So
I mean, you could say that he was told that the Lannisters, I don't know if Lysa specifically says Cersei and Jaime, but Lysa says the Lannisters killed Jon Arryn, and then he's told that Tyrion, a Lannister, killed Bran. Yeah. So that's the connection that he's making.
Yeah. Okay. So then this is when Varys comes in. Varys.
Whatever.
This is when Varys comes in, and he has like his little cloak on, and he like smells sweaty, which that's what Ned said. And then
it's interesting because he always smells so perfumey. So his disguise is that my takeaway is that it's in depth. He doesn't just like throw a wig on or throw on a hood. Like this dude even went out and like sweat or didn't shower or whatever to like really get into character.
Yeah. And so then this is when they dive into like the whole conversation about like Robert. And so Varys says like he talks about why Robert wanted to fight in the tournament, and he was like, it's because Cersei was telling him that he can't fight in the tournament. And Robert's like, yeah, well, like and everyone knows that if you can't tell Robert, like, you can't do, if you tell Robert you can't, oh my lord, if you tell Robert he can't do something, he's gonna like want to do it. And
Right.
so Varys is basically saying they were planning to kill him at this tournament, and I was like, what, like, how do you know that? Like, how do you know that? And like, obviously, like, I'm still on the path that Rob, bro, okay, but like, like, I want to know, like, where's the Varys POV? I want to know now.
That'd be good.
And so yeah, he's telling him like they're planning to kill him, and Ned's like, why would they do that? You know, blah 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 blah. I don't remember too much. I feel like it's
There's
really
a little
important,
bit here
but
as far as Ned's like, why didn't you tell me this before? And they're like,
yeah.
You would go and do this. And it part of this conversation is Ned essentially passed a test that Varys had set for him. He needed to see. He doesn't know Ned from Winterfell. Like, is Ned just worried about Ned? Is Ned just worried about Winterfell? Or is Ned worried about the realm? And he now feels like, okay, Ned is a trusted guy that is truly worried about the realm. I can now let him in. Now, as far as telling the truth here, who knows? But at the very least, it's the first little hint that maybe Varys is truly worried about the realm, or at least that's what he's saying.
Yeah. And then he's like, you know, telling people are like planning to kill Robert, and basically like Ned is like the only like true friend that like Robert has out of like everyone, like out of his like siblings, and like obviously his wife, but his wife doesn't count. Like,
well, because you know, like he's not a good king, but he's a decent dude.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he has like
man.
nobody on his side.
No.
Like, even his brothers. What?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Right.
Like, he just says like Rob, or the Ned is like his true friend, but like, I don't know, he can't rely on his brothers at all.
Yeah.
Crazy. But anyway, so yeah, I think that was it with that one.
I thought that there was a little bit more with his whole investigation. Maybe not. Okay, I think you're good. So we didn't get a step closer in the John Aaron murder mystery. Why did they kill him?
But
wasn't Vari's parting words like he asked them who killed him or how did he die? He said, "How does John Aaron die?"
Right. Why did I not write that
down? He asked him point blank.
Okay, yeah. So he says, I don't know why his first question was like, "How did he die?" But anyway, Varys was. I would have been like, "Who killed him?" But Varys was.
I thought he said who killed him, and then I thought he said Sir Hugh.
He first asked how did he die, and then he asked like who killed him.
Okay.
When he asked how did he die, Varys like fully tells him it was poison. Yeah, and then how he was telling John Aaron like he should test something. He was like, you should test this before you do something, and John Aaron didn't want to listen because he's so like.
Oh, he wanted him to get a taster, a taste tester.
Oh, okay.
So essentially, somebody that always takes a bite and always drinks before it give it, in case anybody is trying to poison you. Like the poor taste tester would like die, and you're like, I'm not gonna eat that.
What if it's like a poison that like doesn't work until the next day? Like,
yeah.
I feel like the whole concept is dumb now. Like, what? How is this supposed to work?
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's what he tells them, and then I feel like there was more to the poison. I don't remember. And then Ned asked like who killed him, and he was like someone close to John Aaron. But he's had like a couple people close to them, specifically that one guy, Hugh, that you know was always with him and always had his meals with him. That's all I remember though.
Yeah. There was one other thing. Like, what was his parting words as he walked out the door?
Bro, I don't know. Oh, yeah. He asked why. He was like, why did they kill him? And he was like asking questions.
Yes.
I need more. What do you mean? Like everybody asked. Like what?
Okay.
Yeah.
I won't go into this too much because we've already been around it a few times. So John was obviously reading this book, right? And I feel like this book hasn't told us anything. So you're probably like, enough with the damn book. And then also when he went to go see his bastard, the armor Gendry, he went to go see Gendry. I think,
Yes.
didn't they make reference that John Aaron had just recently, John Aaron and Stannis just recently went to go see him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's again, he's worried about this book. He's worried about Robert's bastards. I don't know what else to say.
Bro, like okay, the only thing that I can think of is like but it doesn't even make sense because like bastards like can't like take over the throne. I don't know. I don't know. And it's making me mad, bro. Like, what do you mean?
It's
Can you give me anything else like that?
one of two things are going to happen, but I feel like the tension in your mind is about to peak. So when you read the reveal, it'll be a great moment. Or if you discover it on stream, it'll be like a great aha moment as well. Again, you're 75% there. That the only problem is you've gathered 75% of the information, but the connection is a leap. And right
That's
now,
what I'm saying. Like the connection is it's like a leap, like a big one, bro. Like there's no like. Are you
I
sure
will
I'm
say
not missing
this:
anything else?
there was one other hint in today's episode that me and you just did.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah. All right. So the
Okay,
last
like
chapter is
wait, no,
Tyrion.
wait.
Oh, what?
Wait. No, like in the Ned chapter, was there a hint?
Was it the Ned chapter? It was the Ned chapter.
Okay, bro. All right, let's just do Tyrion real quick so I can think about it later.
All right.
Bro, what?
Tyrion is in the crossroads, the inn at the crossroads. He stumbles upon Catelyn, who was last told by Littlefinger that Tyrion is the person behind the Bran assassination attempt. So she has him arrested. They're headed to Winterfell. Have they made it to Winterfell yet?
Bro.
Doesn't she want to go back to be with her kids and be safe?
She's mad right now. She's making me mad. So yeah, she was like, they're supposed to be going to Winterfell, and first of all, they killed Tyrion's horse. There's like these two guys. I think it was Chiggin and Bronn. They're probably not important, but they were like two guys that are like helping.
Chicken will be around for a minute. Bronn is important. Bronn is important. So honestly, like I didn't recognize this person Bronn until way later. So the fact that he's already kind of on your radar is good. So each time Bronn comes up, pay attention.
Okay. But anyway, I think it was Chicken that killed the horse. But yeah, and then they were like, yeah, let's eat this thing. I was like, bro, what? And then I felt bad because Tyrion was like, that was the horse that my brother gave me for my birthday.
yeah,
that's
sucks.
So sad. Yes. And then they like tie him up, and then they put like a bag over his head while they're traveling, and then I forgot when it happened, but eventually like they stop or something, and then they take his bag off, and then he realizes that they're like not even heading to Winterfell. They're heading to like somewhere. They're heading to her sister's house, and I was like, why are you going there? And and then I felt bad for Tyrion because like his whole thing was like, oh, like everyone is gonna know that we're going to Winterfell, so like my family will be able to like, stop us like in the middle or whatever. But then like he realizes he's going like this opposite direction. He's like, are you serious? Like I have no chance now. They don't know I'm going this way. And then Cat's all smug, like, oh yeah, like
I'll actually give her a little bit of credit here. Like, I hate that she made this decision because I just want her to go with her kids. Like, go be home. Be with your family, damn it. So, like, I'm sure that it was intelligent for her to do this little switcheroo and head to the Eyrie, but I just hate every decision she makes.
Yeah. No, it was definitely smart. Even Tyrion was like, I hate that, like, she makes moves that, like, I'm supposed to be, like, the quick one, the smart one or whatever, and, like, she's, like, besting me, and it's like, yeah, I would be annoyed too, bro. Like, what do you mean? But, anyway, so I don't remember if they stopped. I think they've stopped. They're stopped and they're, like, resting. And, I don't know how the conversation happens, but Cat and Tyrion are talking, and Tyrion's basically like, "Dude, that's not my dagger. That's not mine. I don't know, like who even told you that was mine? It's not mine." And then Cat's like, "Oh, like Littlefinger told me, blah 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 blah." And then Tyrion's like, I forgot what he says,
He makes
but
such a good point. He was like, "There's a fatal flaw in what Littlefinger told you." He said that I bet against Jamie. I would never bet against
oh yeah,
Jamie.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
like really
So
that whole lie
yeah,
crumbles with that.
yeah. He was like, I would just know this, like I never bet against my family.
Right.
And then she's like, why would he lie to me? And he was like, why do like bears like shit in forests? Like, bro, like Littlefinger's
That's what
like
he
lied.
is. Right.
Yeah, Littlefinger like lies. That's who he is, like you said. Littlefinger is for Littlefinger. He's not for anybody
Right.
else. And then she's like, he lied to me, and something like that. And then Tyrion says something about how Littlefinger like boasts about taking Cat's like virginity, and then she was like, "You lie!" And then they got all mad or whatever. I was like, "Oh my god!" But so anyway, Cat's in denial, and then this is when riders pull up, and so then there's like a whole like fight between the riders and then like Cat's little
So
band.
the Mountain Clansmen, on the way to the Eyrie. The Eyrie is a very, very difficult castle to like take over. The physical path to get there is extremely treacherous. You can't just send an army up there. And then on the process of getting there, there's these like just random mountain clans that they're not protecting the Eyrie, but because they just want to kill and steal your weapons, they're also difficult to get through as well. So that's who you ran into, the mountain clans.
Okay, so then Tyrion's like, "Hey, like you got to give us weapons." Like him and his two guys. I forgot what they're called. Oh wait, it's I don't know how to say it. It looks like Jack but with a Y. Like I don't know. Anyway, probably not important. And then Morik. Um, maybe it's like Jake. That sounds dumb.
Oh yeah, I think it's pronounced Jack. Honestly, I don't know who that is. Jack and Mark. I don't really know.
Yeah, one of them dies. So
Yeah, minor characters for sure.
yeah. But anyway, he was like, "Hey, like you got to give us weapons because like more men to fight these guys." And then so they're fighting. Blah 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 blah. Oh my gosh, the poor like I forgot the singer came along with them, and so
Marillion.
the bro, yes. So the singer's with them, and he's like hiding behind this rock, and then Tyrion like comes over when they're coming over it, and he's like scoot over, and like the singer's like, no, like don't pinch me, and then Tyrion like kicks him or something and like shoves him out of the way, and I felt so bad. And then this rider like jumps over with like their horse, and then Tyrion like cuts like the horse's neck or something. So then the horse falls on top of the singer, and then Tyrion like steps on the singer's hand, and he's like, "Hey, just like play dead." And so then like Tyrion goes and like continues fighting. He's just like cutting at people's ankles, to be honest.
It's like Achilles strike, Achilles strike.
No, literally. And then oh, then there's like this one moment where Kat is like, up against some rock or whatever, and like there's like riders around her, I think. And when Tyrion like she screams and like Tyrion like knows her, and he's like, man, like I should just let her die. Like, this is kind of what she deserves. But then before he knows it, like he's like moving over there and he like saves her or whatever. And like good on him. But like this, more reason to think that like he did not like kill
Right.
Bran. Like if he could have just like ignored you and like let you die or like even get injured or whatever, but instead he like went out of his way to like go save you. And so then he goes to save her. By then I think it's kind of over. There was just like a minor like conversations. He kind of makes a joke. He makes a joke with one of Catelyn's guys, because one of Catelyn's guys was like, "Hey, like, is this like your first battle?" And he was like, "Yeah, my family would be proud." And then the guy's like, "Oh, this is like where you would take like a lady like after your battle." And then he
I think
looks
he's
at
talking to
Cat.
Bronn. I think he's talking to Bronn there.
Okay, yeah, and then he looks at Kat, he said something like, "If she let me," or something, and then, people laugh, and he, like, smiles to himself 'cause he's, like, getting on the good side, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah.
but, and then actually this is when he tells Kat, 'cause they were first talking before the writers pulled up, about, like, the dagger and everything, and then he didn't tell her yet, like, he didn't bet against his family. He tells her after. He was like,
Mhm.
as we were saying, like, one thing that Littlefinger got wrong was, like, I don't bet against my family, like, ever. Um, and then that was it. And then he gets his own horse, like, Cat lets him have his own horse, as they continue on, and then but she still says something like, "Don't think, like, I'm, on your side or whatever. It's like, I still, like, don't trust you as the beginning," and blah, blah, blah,
I
blah.
don't trust you, but here's an axe. Here's a
Yeah,
horse. You're no
literally,
longer bound. We don't have a hood on your head, but I don't trust you. Yeah, your sister.
literally, literally, like, come on now. But, yes, that is how it ends. So they're going to her sister's place for some reason.
Yeah, I do think that Tyrion chapter was a bit more surface level stuff. It was a big battle. We do find the little switcheroo. They're not going to Winterfell. They're going to the Eyrie. So that's a little bit of a twist there. But the Ned chapter, I felt there was just so much in the damn Ned chapter
Bro.
between Sir Hugh, the Mountain, Sandor Clegane, his investigation, the secret conversation with Varys, like.
So
There's
much.
an assassination plan on King Robert. Like that's huge.
Yeah.
We kind of glossed over that because I let the cat out of the bag a few episodes ago that King Robert may not live forever. But this would be a reveal that, like, holy shit, people are trying to kill the king. So that there's a lot going on in that chapter. And then Sansa, that was almost the introduction to the tournament, right? But yeah, no, there's a lot there. All right. That was a heavy, dense episode.
Yeah.
Let's see what the next three will bring us in. We're approaching halfway through the book here. All right. So we have Arya 3. We got a little bit of Arya here. She seems like her training. She's loving it. It seems difficult. I think Ned wanted, she's like, I'm going to get you a different trainer. And she's like, no,
Yeah, that was funny.
Right. What's up with all these bruises? And, like, is he too
Yeah.
hard on you? And she's like, it's good. Pain is wonderful. It makes you stronger.
Yeah. She's like, this is perfect.
Right.
And then he's like, yeah, she'll grow out of this one.
Yeah.
But she ain't growing out of this.
So what's next for Arya?
I'm hoping we get more of her training. I think she's probably getting better because I remember she was like showing Ned that she can like balance on one leg better. She was like hopping between her feet. So I'm assuming more training, probably more about what like her trainer's personality, because I think she obviously likes this guy. So, maybe we'll like spend more time with him. Yeah. Other than that,
I think that's it. Yeah. Well, I think training Arya and training, see how she's progressing there. Yeah. After that, we're right back into an Eddard chapter. So
okay. If I don't understand it by this one, like I'm gonna lose it.
I forget the exact pacing of this story arc. I do feel like we've got to be coming to the conclusion pretty soon. I don't think that it's the reveal in this next chapter, but I do think that they're about to hammer home some main things with this whole investigation that he's on. So I don't know. I'm really curious to see what additional details they give and what we can figure out. I don't know what's better, if you find the reveal in the book, because that's the way that we all experience the reveal, is that we actually read it, or if there will be like an aha moment on screen where you figure it out on screen. Either way, I'm excited that you're gonna figure out the next big twist there.
I want to know now.
Soon. And then after that, we got Daenerys. Daenerys 4. Where did we leave off with her? Oh, her life wasn't as great, but she kind of healed. Her last chapter, I think, covered a big. She's pregnant. Like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh
right.
my gosh, I was like, yeah, she like made her brother walk. Blah blah blah. I
Right,
forgot
right.
she's pregnant at 14.
Yeah.
14 is
She's
crazy,
married, pregnant,
bro.
she's a
Yeah,
queen of the
oh, at
Dothraki.
14. Oh
Uh,
man.
you got to think something is the whole Viserys situation is going to probably get worse. He's now walking. He's been humiliated. And then
Yeah,
maybe even more important is she now sees him for what he is.
yeah,
Up until this point, she's always kind of been terrified of how big and powerful he is. And now she kind of sees, it's a facade.
yeah. Um,
Long
man, I don't
term,
even
what
know.
do you think the situation is going to be long term with Viserys and her and the new role? Like it can't go on like this forever. Well, what's going to happen?
Yeah. Um, I think like eventually Viserys is gonna like. Well, I feel like at this point he should know that he's not getting his army. Like your sister just made you walk. Like
Yeah, right.
you know you're not gonna be king, right? Like, um, I mean, like I don't know, like what do queens do? Because like Catelyn be doing nothing. So like,
Well, she ain't a queen. She's just a lord's wife. Not
oh, that's
just, but
true. Oh
like
yeah,
Ned's not a king. What does Cersei
that's
do?
true. Nothing. I like, snake, bro. They should have been like this the snake symbol, but man, I don't even know. I guess she'll just do like her queen duties and then like she'll have to like prepare for the baby,
No,
which
but my question is between her and Viserys, like that tension
okay.
has to break at some point. Like he's not going to just always be okay with being disrespected and never getting his army.
Yeah.
Like what's going to be the ultimate conclusion of that situation?
Either like I don't think she'll kill him, but either she like imprisons him maybe like they'll like I don't know, be like, hey, like you sit in the cell and you
You
think
think
about what you
about what you've
did.
done.
um or like my other guess was maybe he leaves. I remember when they were making him walk, she was like worried that he wouldn't like, you know, follow along, I guess. But then what's his face? Gosh darn it. Oh, Mormont. Mormont was like, oh, he has nowhere else to go, so like he might as well like follow along. But I feel like at some point he'll just be like, this isn't good for me, like I don't want to do this, so like he might as well just leave. And then there's probably some people that still believe the Targaryens are gonna like be, kings and throned or whatever.
Sure.
So I bet like maybe he can find somebody to like help him. Or he still, well, no, I was gonna say he still has that one guy. Oh man, what's that guy's name? Illyrian?
Magistrate Illyrio Mopatis.
Why do you? The full government name is crazy. Illyrio. I was gonna say maybe he has Illyrio, but no, Illyrio is like, isn't he tied to
I
Danny
mean,
or?
Viserys thinks he has Illyrio, but I think it's easy to infer that Illyrio's true tie is probably more through Danny at this point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But anyway, so either prison or he's gonna like go away.
Hmm. You don't think he can win? You don't think he can kill her?
I mean, okay, why would he? Okay, if he attempts to kill her, because she's not gonna die. If he attempts to kill her, like that's so dumb because he's using her to get his, army. So like, if she dies, like
Yeah, fair.
you just did all of that for nothing.
You said that it's obvious that he's not getting his army, so might as well show his power and kill her and
I
take
mean,
those
I
eggs.
guess.
I mean, take
Oh
those stones.
no, 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 no. I was literally gonna mention at the beginning when you was like, "What's the future?" Like, those things are gonna hatch, bro. Those things are gonna hatch. They're literally warm. Like, what do you? They're real.
From
They're
being
real
in the
drag.
sun all day. Yeah.
No, stone doesn't. Well, I was
Yeah,
gonna
it
say
does.
stone doesn't get real, but yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. um, I don't know. Those are gonna hatch though. Maybe not book one, but like 3.
We shall see. All right. I'm excited for you to press ahead. I'm excited for you to read the next Ned chapter. I might actually read the synopsis right now just so I could be prepared to what you're about
Bro,
to read.
bro. Why don't I know yet? Oh, let me think. Okay, wait. Okay. Was the book important? The book's not in that.
What is the book even about?
It's just about like the lineage. Like that's why I don't understand why he was like.
When they were in the book, does it ever like read the book to you? Like the book says this, or does it just say that he's reading the book?
It just says that he. It just says that he was reading. Wait, was there something that I missed? Maybe there's something that I missed because like the only part of the book that I remember is when Ned was like he was looking at the Lannister section and he was like, I feel like there's something in here, but like I don't think he quoted anything.
It might be worth double checking. I don't know. I don't know if it's that chapter or if it's the next chapter, but what the book actually says is important. So if it actually does tell you what the book is saying, you probably want to take a look at that.
Okay, that makes me feel better because I was like, if I missed it, that's embarrassing. But like in my mind, you know, I didn't have that, so it's like I'm not like just passing over it. You know what I'm saying, right?
I got
like,
you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, but other than that, like that's it though, right? Like the book, and then obviously like the bastard son, and then
like what is the book saying? Why does that compel them to go look at to go meet all of Robert's bastards? And then John Aaron's dying words.
The seed is strong. That's what it was. Okay, it's the book. Once I read whatever that book said, I have it. I have it. I'm gonna go back and make sure that it
do me a
quoted.
favor. If you find out where the book is, okay, like just put your book to the side, record yourself, and then read it. Just read it. Because if you, I want to experience if you do, and you might even read it and be like, okay, I still don't know. That's a possibility.
Okay.
I think the next time Ned reads the book, it's going to be a lot more obvious, but I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, that's if I don't remember the book being quoted at all. So that's if the book was even quoted. Do you know if it was actually quoted?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll just have to look then.
Okay.
That's crazy. I hope it wasn't quoted just for my sake, because are you serious that if I missed that? Like what? Okay. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. All right. Next episode might be a doozy. All right. We'll see you guys then.